This is the Kubernetes community meeting for September 28th, 2017. I'm Solly Ross. I'll be hosting today. As a reminder, this meeting is publicly available and recorded, so don't say anything you wouldn't want your grandmother to hear. All right, so to get started, a first announcement. The Kubernetes 1.8 release burn down meeting is going on right now. So all the release team are over there. If that is important to you, you should probably go attend that. So moving on, the release has been delayed 24 hours due to a critical issue that was discovered for release 1.8. And that is why the burn down meeting is going on. All right, let's see. For the other releases, do we have updates for 1.7 and 1.6?
I'm sorry, one more update regarding 1.8. So as you mentioned, right now the release team is running the burn down meeting. I'm here on just report about it. We have faced the issue and we are ready to solve it right today, and we're ready to ship the release today. I hope nothing will happen that will make us to delay it once again. So we're waiting for the final release start at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And another announcement, we are going to have 1.8 threads from me next week instead of the community meeting on Thursday, exactly this time. Probably different place, so just check your calendars for the upcoming invite. And we're expecting also to have follow-up on Friday, because based on our experience from the previous retro meetings, sometimes 60 minutes is not enough to discuss. It's related to the previous release. And that's all from me on 1.8.
All right. Do we have 1.7 and 1.6 representatives here at the moment?
We do not have any updates on 1.7 or 1.6 today.
All right. On to SIG updates. SIG PM first with Ihor.
Yes, hello again. So let me share my screen. I have prepared a few slides for today. Can people see my screen?
Yep, you're good.
So, from memory, it's the first PM update the community meets, and I'm really appreciated to the day. So first of all, approximately in this period in September, we are celebrating our first half a year anniversary.
You're breaking up pretty badly. I suggest turning off your video.
Okay. Is it better? Okay.
Not much.
What about dropping the slides into the chat, and then we can watch slides independently?
Let's do it.
Okay, thanks, Ihor, because once you stopped presenting, your audio worked again. Thank you.
Link to the slides chat, so feel free to open them on your local machine. So SIG PM has been established in the first few months of the current year. It hasn't been absolutely brand new SIG that has been started from scratch. It has been a successor to the previously existing product management group that has been formed a bit more than a year ago in the summer of 2016. But during half a year that we've been running the product management working group, we have faced some interest of people in the community to extend our presence up to SIG level, and there also have been some requests to set up the regular channels, mailing lists, the regular meetings, and so on. So we have converted the PM working group to the regular SIG, and since the first quarter of 2017, we're running it as a SIG. So next slide, please. It's the slides. Thank you, Brian, for making it. Probably it can be a bit outdated. I grabbed it from the presentation that has been presented at the Kubernetes Leadership Summit in June. So some pieces of it should be a bit updated, but in general, you can see our place in the general Kubernetes community ecosystem. So PM group is the community-wide group and the project-wide group. We are not declaring us as a technical group, but we're working mostly on the wide release, on the wide project scope together with the release SIG, with contributors, SIG docs, SIG testing, together with newly formed architecture group and people from the governance. But we actually are closely working with all other SIGs. Yeah, and the next slide, please. So speaking about who we are, we have 3 leads. We actually being the people who have formed this group as a SIG. It's a partner from Google, Caleb from Keras, and myself. And we also have a list of SIG representatives. You may find the list of them on GitHub under the link that's currently shared in the slides. The SIG representatives are people who are actively participating in one or multiple SIGs, and actually they're acting as a bridge between our SIG and their SIGs. So they're performing reporting on behalf of their SIGs to our SIGs, and they're also messaging from SIG PM to their local technical SIGs. And to anybody from the community, we have enough contributors from the different areas who are not the SIG leads, who are not the SIG representatives, but they're actively working also in the PM stream and helping us to do that, what we do. And next slide, please. Yeah, so what do? We're managing Kubernetes as a project, and we are managing Kubernetes as a product. I will define what we exactly do with Kubernetes as a project a bit later when I highlight what we don't regularly do. But initially, we're driving Kubernetes as a product, and it's actually highlighted in the name of the SIG. We're primarily product management SIG that is primarily from people with product management background. We are actively working on Kubernetes roadmaps. You may find the links to our last roadmap discussions at Developer Summit last year and Leadership Summit half a year ago. We're working on the features management for Kubernetes. I've been a release manager responsible for the feature for the last few releases, and together with a partner, Caleb, and other people, we're working on making features delivered, discussed, delivered to the releases, discussed in the community, and so on. And we are probably one of the main SIGs who is currently interacting with the marketing area. We're primarily interacting with CNCF marketing, with the vendors marketing, with third-party marketing initiatives, organizations, and so on. So if you may see any information about Kubernetes roadmap, Kubernetes product strategy, Kubernetes features, you may notice our names there. Next slide, please. Yeah, so what we don't do, we primarily do not contribute code to Kubernetes. It doesn't mean that we don't deliver anything technical to Kubernetes at all. All of us have some technical background working with Kubernetes, but our primary responsibility is managing these things, and we would like people with deeper technical knowledge and deeper technical experience to do coding. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we don't do anything technical for Kubernetes. We do not manage Kubernetes as a community organization. We would like a steering committee that is, this selection is ongoing and really soon it will be formed. We would like steering committee to do that. We would like also people who are designated for these roles to drive Kubernetes as a community organization. So we don't manage Kubernetes as a group of people. We are managing Kubernetes primarily as a technical product. And we don't manage Kubernetes releases itself because we have the designated SIG release for managing release cycle, release process. But again, we're actively involved into the release process, especially from the features perspective, from the release notes perspective, interacting with marketing people and so on. And a few links. So you may find a README about SIG PM group on GitHub. We are meeting regularly every second and first Tuesday of months. A few days ago, I sent an announcement to SIG PM group that we have a bit rescheduled our cadence, because earlier we've been meeting every second week, but unfortunately sometimes our meetings were overlapping with CNCF-TOC meetings, and so many people had to decide which meeting to attend, and it was not so good for both meetings, for CNCF-TOC and for our meetings. So since sometimes CNCF-TOC is meeting every first and third Tuesday of month, sorry. So we are meeting every second and first Tuesday of month, exactly at the same time and same place. You may find the meeting notes and agenda right here in the slides, together with the recordings, points to YouTube. We have our Slack, we have our mailing list, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out there. And that's all from me. Questions?
All right.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Has SIG, you said it manages Kubernetes as a project. How much does SIG PM discuss what additional project management might help the project? Is that something that would be a welcome topic at a future SIG PM meeting?
It will be absolutely welcome topic for us. Actually, we are going to, there has been a proposal for us to run something like the retrospective for the PM meetings and probably reformat a bit what we're currently doing. At the same time, any suggestions regarding how to drive Kubernetes as a product, how to drive Kubernetes as a project, and any suggestions from you personally with your experience, absolutely welcome. So our agenda is open, feel free to reach us and we'll discuss it on the next meetings.
Okay, yeah, and thanks for moving the meetings. That will enable me to attend. But I have some thoughts in that area that I'd like to discuss. So
yeah, that's great. That's great.
Cool, thanks.
Jupiter has missed when are the meetings now. Meetings are happening exactly the same time and the same place on Tuesdays. It's 8 a.m. Pacific time, but we are now alternating CNCF-TOC meetings. So every second and every first Tuesday of months. Please double check your calendar. If you subscribe to Kubernetes PM group, you should receive your invite. If you haven't, please I'll send it to you.
Great. Thank you very much, Ihor. If you have any further questions for Ihor, post them in the chat. We can get them a little bit later.
Yep, thank you.
All right. So on to me for SIG auto-scaling. So for 1.8, we successfully managed to graduate the auto-scaling version 2 API to beta. So it is now V2 beta 1. That will be on by default, beta. And the related metrics APIs, the custom metrics API and the master metrics API, have been graduated to beta as well. For next release, we will be working on getting the vertical pod auto-sizer up to speed. If you have any thoughts on the design around that, please weigh in on the design document and hopefully come to the SIG auto-scaling meeting. We also intend to turn on the flag that makes the horizontal pod autoscaler use the API server aggregator by default in 1.9. So if you have thoughts on that, please also let us know. That's it for SIG autoscaling. On to announcements. Paris with election updates.
Paris with election updates.
If you have not voted, please vote. And it's about 60% of you that have already voted, roughly. So the 40% you have until Tuesday of next week. Thanks to the 60% who have jumped on this. And that's about it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to DM me in the Kubernetes Slack. That's it.
And then I dropped one more note in announcements, which is the KubeCon schedule was announced today, and the Cloud Native Con schedule was announced today. So share that content however you share content, get people excited about it. I hope you're excited about it already, but if you're not, get excited about it because it's coming, and we're going to have tons of special interest group work, associated events. There's going to be an Istio Day. There's going to be the Kubernetes Dev Summit on Tuesday, Kubernetes Dev Summit. So all of this is starting to come together with a full-blown schedule. So share that excitement, and let's get lots of end users and people who are interested in the project there.
And the SIG reserve time was?
I don't know. I sent a doc about reserving times, a form to reserve times out to Kubernetes Dev a week or two ago, or 3. Recently.
I saw a lot of SIG updates on Thursdays.
I think Thursday for some reason.
Yeah, I saw like SIG architecture Thursday.
So.
Okay, so Monday is just training.
I think Monday is just training. Tuesday is the Dev Summit. Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not 100% sure for the public schedule. I haven't dug through it yet today.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any other announcements? Any last minute things people want to share?
Josh is asking if there's a master list of SIG meetings at KubeCon. Probably, but I don't have it. That's being handled through the CNCF, and I will see if we can get it published.
All right. Looks like we don't have any more questions. And so I guess we'll make this a very, very short community meeting this week.
I don't think any of us is going to argue with the gift of time the week of release. Yes, oh yes, and at some point, take the time to go vote. Search for election poll in your inbox and vote. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you all next week.
Thank you.